Ladies and gentlemen, if we look up into the sky, what do we see besides the beautiful silhouette of my ears? The sky is blue. It is finally done raining. It was raining for like a week straight nonstop. We do have more rain coming tomorrow and the next day, but at least today we get, it's gonna be kind of brisk today, but at least we get sun. And yes, cue the I live in Antarctica, 40 degrees isn't brisk, negative 40 degrees is. I know, okay? Anyway, the fact that the sky is blue and the rain is done leads us to skateboarding because the ground is gonna dry out today, hopefully. You might have remembered, I guess it was like a week ago now, I lost my skateboard in the ocean. And you also might notice that this video is titled like unsponsored skateboard review or setup or something along those lines. And you'll see that we have some stuff that I picked up from the local skate shop here. I wanna bring this, where should we do our board setup? I try to do them in like a different location so I don't get too repetitive. I had a brilliant idea just now. Never before been done skateboard setup location. Backing it up here. Yeah, that should be good. I feel like I have to be the only person to do a board setup on a removable drift car skateboarding rail. Right? If you are just utterly perplexed as to what that is, if you check my past couple of videos, it shows the building of this and talks about what it is. Maybe we can skate it today too. So I know I called this an unsponsored skateboard setup, right? And that is 3/4 true. I do still ride for Arbor, so we are gonna be setting up an Arbor skateboard today. Aside from that though, everything else I picked up from a skate shop and is not sponsored. Also, I'm just realizing that the sun is directly behind me and it's not the most flattering with my ears. I think I wanna flip I wanna flip our seat around. It's still pretty early in the morning, so as bad as I wanna go and do some donuts with the rail attached, I don't think the neighbors would love that at 7:30 in the morning. Much better. All right, so we have trucks, wheels, bearings. I gotta grab a deck, grip tape, razor blade, and skate tool. And I'm saying this on camera so I can check the footage when I get down there because I'm gonna forget because I have the memory of a squirrel. The bump to bar has been holding up pretty good through this storm. Like I said, it's been like a week of nonstop rain. A lot of people were worried with these inserts, which I actually have to paint. I forgot about that because they are starting to rust. They told me to remove them when it rains because it's gonna fill up with water, but they're hollow. The water just goes straight through that to the ground down there. And then plus these are pretty easy to make. So I want to use, you can see it's kind of warping on that top plate there. I was out of 1/4" plate steel, so I used a way thinner metal so it warped. So I mean, I want to replace these anyway. That's why I haven't really got around to painting them. And then I still got to drill that other hole, boom, right there on that side so that I can, you know, alternate sides, because that's a plug and play rail, right? Interchangeable with that red one. And then, I mean, we also gotta just make some more attachments. That's the whole fun of it. But that is not today's video. See, I'm already getting distracted. Skateboard, razor blade, skate tool, grip tape, skateboard, razor blade, skate tool, grip tape, right? That's all of them? And a drill. Skateboard, make sure this is an 825. Yes, it is. Grayson Fletcher, okay, cool. Skate tool, perfect. Grip tape, perfect. Razor blade, razor blade, razor blade, razor blade, razor blade, razor blade, and then drill, and I think 3/8 is the right size. I guess we'll find out. All right, and then a quick little sneak peek here. A little teaser. If you're a channel member, you know. They're coming along. And as you guys know, tier 3 and up channel members get early access to everything on the site. Just saying. Link in description. Thank you guys for supporting me. Back up to our drift rails. Did I drop something? I swore I heard that I dropped something. All right, so where do I even, oh my, you know what I almost forgot? I forgot literally like half the purpose of this entire YouTube video. For better or for worse, I say it's for better, at least in terms of my mental health and whatnot. This channel isn't strictly just skateboarding or, you know, chasing views or any of that like it used to be. I also treat it as just sort of a video diary for my life where I film just about anything and everything. Projects that I work on, whether or not they're skate related, it all depends, you know? And a lot of you might have seen recently that I've been spending a lot of time working on this privacy fence, and I have no fence building experience. It was just one of those sort of spontaneous projects I wanted to try. Learn a new skill. It's my favorite things about living out here now is there's enough, you know, sort of land to try things and fail. About 2 weeks ago, because it was right before the storm happened that we just had, I set out on a journey to build this fence, and I decided that I wasn't really planning on using it for a video, but I did want to film it. Not to like toot my own horn, but I didn't think that I would succeed. And that's part of the reason I didn't think it would ever make it to YouTube, but I succeeded. I'm gonna throw it in this video because why not? It's a project that came out, in my opinion, way better than I would have thought. I'm really proud of it. Again, it has literally nothing to do with the skateboard setup, the drift car, and none of that. I've just been sitting on this footage for a little bit and wanted to put it to use. So before we get started with the skateboard setup, here is that fence building journey. I'll see you guys 2 weeks ago. All right, I'm not making the same mistake that I make every single time I start one of these projects. I'm documenting the before, because I always document the after. And like, sure, you can go back through old videos to see the before, but I want to do like a dedicated before and after. There's this old, decrepit barbed wire fence that sort of surrounds the entire property. It separates our property here from the next door neighbor's property, which is right there on the other side of that barbed wire fence. Disclaimer, obviously I have talked to the next door neighbors and I've gotten permission to pull all of this old barbed wire fence that separates our properties. I also got the A-OK to install the privacy fence that we want to make here. Some of these posts, like this one isn't even a post. This is just a piece of rebar, and this one's not even in the ground anymore. That thing just moves around freely. That can be yanked out. Others are in there pretty solid, and I mean, I could use the demo hammer to try to jackhammer everything out or pickaxe it, or I can do it my way, which is using this thing and just chopping them at the base just like that. Because we are working with rusty barbed wire here, we got our eye condoms on, our eye protection, got some gloves, and I should definitely be wearing a long sleeve, but I'm not. Perfect. You can get a feel for how old this fence is. The barbed wire is just grown through this old stump. I thought I was gonna have to get a chainsaw out, but it is barely in the ground. It's not in the ground. All right, well, we got the fence out. So for actually digging the holes for the fence posts to go into the ground, we ran into a problem last time. I rented one of those 2-person augers from Home Depot, but the way the ground is, I mean, you can kind of see it over here. A lot of the time you're digging into just straight rocks and boulders and stuff that have just been there for years and years. So the auger was just not cutting it, literally. We're gonna be trying a little combo of this little Harbor Freight demo hammer and just a manual post hole digger and our tiny little electric backup generator thing, portable battery. I think it's 12.5 amps. It should work for a little bit. I have a big, like, actual gas generator. I just don't want to have to lug it up here if I don't have to. I'm not too sure how this is gonna work. That really worked surprisingly well. We got ourselves a 2-foot hole there. Fence post. We have our first post in and level. As you can see, I got this little post leveler, and on both sides it is nice and level. I have it braced just with this scrap wood that I had laying around. And now, I mean, I think all we do is grab the concrete mix, toss it in there, add some water, and put the post and make the post stay there. I don't know. I guess we just do it. right, concrete is poured. Everything is still all level and good. Yeah, we have a lot more fence posts to go. I'm gonna let this dry and cure and everything, and then I have some string that I'm gonna tie to the top there and go all the way to the end, and then mark 8 feet for each post, and we're good to go. That's gonna take a while to dry though. All right, I locked in yesterday and I got a little ahead of myself here. Not 1 post, not 2 posts, not 3 posts, but 4 posts. These 3 right here, I finished those yesterday. So those have been drying and curing, not quite 24 hours yet. And then this one, we just got up. This is my homie Jackson, who I've stolen for free manual labor. I didn't realize how much easier this was with the help of someone, because before, to make sure the post was plumb, I'd have to like make little adjustments, drop the post, go grab the tape measure, dude, like it was such a pain. But with help, we got that one done in what, 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes, if that, where before it was taking like 30, 45 minutes. But yeah, we have a lot more posts to go. We loaded up the Ranger. I thought so first of all, I saw the fence panels that Taylor and I liked. Taylor picked them out. I was kind of on the fence about like a pre-made, pre-assembled fence panels, which I've heard mixed things about. I've used them in the past, like I used them in LA, I loved them. Or actually making my own. Taylor liked these pre-made ones. But of course, the ones that we like, they would deliver everything except these ones. So we loaded all of them up into the Ranger, and she made it because the Ranger can do anything. It's time to get these posts in though. We had this system that worked pretty good. I would go in with the breaker hammer to, you know, break up the ground, and then he would come in with the post hole digger to dig everything out. And some of the holes were really easy. It was just mainly clay or dirt or tree roots. But others, like, you're literally digging straight into rock. Like, there's a boulder, you know, a foot, 18 inches into the ground that we have to put this post in. So the breaker hammer made things a whole lot easier. I think we got 3 posts in and then just kind of kicked it for the rest of the day. All right, this is day, what, 6 since I started this fence post. It's not even a fence yet, it's a fence post journey. Every single post is now in, and they've been drying or curing for at least 72 hours. Jackson and I did those 4, I believe, and then I did the last 4 3 days ago, and they've been drying since. These last couple, I mean, you can see I was going through like rock like this. I was just jackhammering directly into like boulders. You can see this is a giant stone, and that post had to go into it, so the breaker hammer from Harbor Freight came in so clutch. This is all of the rock that it chunked away to get that thing 2 feet deep into the earth. But, I mean, dude, they're all looking perfectly plumb, and the way they all sit in a line, like, it's very, very satisfying. All that's left now is the actual fun part, which is putting the fence panels up. And this is where I think I'm gonna preface this with, like, this is my first time doing this. I'm sure to the fence experts in the comments, like, I've already done a million things wrong. That's fine. This is a learning experience for me. This, out of everything I'm gonna do, this is probably gonna piss the most people off. These fence panels, we found out they're meant to be used with 6x6s, not 4x4 posts. The posts are supposed to either go into the side here or to the back, depending on how you want to mount the fence panels. But in case you haven't gathered, we used 4x4s, not 6x6s. We're choosing to mount the panels like flat against the post as opposed to in between, which some people do. However, because the way this backing is, and I don't feel like redoing it or making my own panels, we're just gonna go directly into the boards. Is it the right way to do things? No, not at all. Will it work? I think it'll work just fine. Will it last 20 years? I doubt it, but does that matter? No. If it lasts until next winter, I'm happy. So I think we're just gonna slap them up there. All right, thanks to my sheer strength and skill and ability, and without the help of anyone else, I was able to do this whole fence by myself. Jackson, thank you for helping me. That physically would not have been possible without the help of a homie. I don't know what my plan was, but it wouldn't have been possible. Just lugging the panels up from the Ranger, up all of this stuff, like it wouldn't have been doable. But thanks to Jackson, we were able to get this done, and like, it's a fence. I think it came out sick. The reason I stopped the fence there is because we do still want that view, right? So if we're chilling here, we got that whole sprawling view. We're gonna be doing some tree work here to open a lot of that up, but it gives us the privacy, like all of that, everything over here is our neighbor's property. We know the owners of the property, but they rent it out, and they have new tenants moving in on the 1st of this month, and like, we just want the privacy. With this new fireplace area, we have the hammock, obviously. We have a lot of plans for this upper area, including, again, and opening up the view this way. That privacy was just a big thing that Taylor and I wanted, and like I'm really honestly proud of how that came out. You can see we made the decision to have, because obviously it's gonna be tiered because it's like it drops down with the slope. Once we started, we realized that we can make them all of the panels line up with the, you know, the, what's the word I'm looking for? Lines up. The biggest drop we had was 2 planks, and either, you know, just pile rocks there, chicken wire, or just nothing, leave it kind of terraced like that. But I mean, I'm giving myself a hell of a pat on the back for that one. Came out really good. Like I obviously when I do things myself, I expect them not to be great. I do a lot of this shit for, like, obviously to save money. We got a quote for $15,000 to get this fence built, but B, just to like practice doing shit myself and like learning life skills. But with that comes mistakes, and obviously it's not going to be contractor grade or anything. And while I'm not saying this is anywhere near contractor grade, I am like way happier with it than I thought. If it lasts, my goal is for this fence to last me a year. I was getting people replying to my Instagram story, oh, that's not gonna last 25 years, bro. 1 year. Anything past that, huge success. Jackson and I, though, we are gonna go grab some sandwiches and kick it for the rest of the day, because that took like a week to get that fence up. So see you guys when I feel like picking up a camera again. Okay, we're back. That's not too bad for my first fence. I know a lot of you probably just want to watch the skateboard setup, so we'll get there, but I want to run up here really quick. There she is. And dude, this storm brought some wind, like nothing crazy, but last night we had 55-mile-an-hour gusts. The chairs are in shambles. Oh my God, I haven't been up here since last night. And I mean, the fence held up great. That was one of my biggest concerns, because the fence sits on this little ridge. The wind will come through the canyon and just go over their yard right here and just blast through the wind. I was almost debating like spacing the panels a little further from each other so there was a gap for the wind to get through. But I mean, these posts aren't moving, dude. It held up really well. That's all. I'm just proud of myself for that one. I think it came out really great. It's like a really cool addition to the yard, and I saved a ton of money doing it myself. Anyway, though, let's get to setting up this board. I want to show you what we're working with today. The board, I already showed you. That is the one constant here. This doesn't usually change. It's an 8.25 Grayson Fletcher board from Arbor. The other stuff is where things, we're switching up a little bit. The first thing here are the trucks. And depending on when the last video you watched was, you might have questions about Crocs. Honestly, so do I. They stopped paying me and then unfollowed me on Instagram. So that was like a year or two ago. I think they just switched up their whole team. Since then, the board that went into Ocean, I was riding Aces. Before that, I was trying out Thunders. Same thing, like now that I'm not on Cariuma, I'm just experimenting. That's kind of how it was. Like I'm wearing Vans. I'm skating Vans right now. That's sort of how it's been with trucks after Crux. I tried Thunder, Aces. I tried Indies before these Indies, but that was when I was riding an 8.5, and I'm riding an 8.68, and now I'm riding an 8.25 now, so we got a new set of Indies here. I don't even know like the difference between trucks nowadays, dude. I got some Indies stage 4s. That's what that little tag says. I think on the 8.68 I was riding Indy Hollows. Does any of it really make a difference? I don't know. I'm a firm believer of like trucks are trucks, a board's a board, wheels are wheels. It's all preference. It's what you prefer to skate. But again, trucks are independent. 136s. I always thought Indies were like 129, 139, 149. What do I know, dude? I'm washed up. But we got some Indy stage 4s, all right? And speaking of the number 4, we have some Spitfire Formula 4s. The board, we're gonna call it the ocean board. The board that got lost in the ocean. I had those Andrew Reynolds, like, soft but hard wheels, if you know what I'm talking. I made a video on them. They were, like, soft enough for, like, the ground around here, which is kind of, like, crunchy up here. You can roll over pebbles and little rocks and stuff, and they're almost, like, soft, like, cruiser wheels, but you can power slide like they're hard urethane wheels. At first, I was kind of iffy on them because they, like, sounded soft, even though they felt hard. But then they really started growing on me. But, I mean, before that, I was just riding regular Formula 4s, and I've just really grown to like Formula 4s. We got some 99 durometer. I believe these are 52 millimeter. Shouldn't it say that somewhere? Oh yeah, there it is. 52 millimeter up on the top there, and it's the conical wheel shape. So they're like rectangular, if that makes any sense. I've skated these wheels before. I really do like them. And then bearings, this is where things get crazy. One of my channel members actually very generously sent me some Bones Reds to my P.O. box, which is originally is what I was gonna set up. I have my P.O. box address in the description too if you're interested. But I was digging through the garage at my parents' house when I went to visit, and I found these Juju bearings, which again, I'd like to say disconnected. Other people say washed up. I'm so disconnected from the skate world. I don't know if Juju bearing still exists. I skated for them 10 years. I want to say 10 years ago. I'm 27 now. I was probably 17. I think I just got my license. So yeah, I skated for this company 10 years ago, give or take. And I found some leftover bearings, and I don't know, I kind of wanted to try them out. Bearings are one of those things, but like bearings are really just bearings. Like maybe how long they last, but I mean, I don't think I've ever skated bearings and been like, damn, these bearings are good. But I don't skate like bowls or transitions, so I don't know. To me, bearings are bearings. So here's everything we're working with right now. And I think the best way to do this, I want to grab the GoPro, the head mount, and just strap you guys to my head and let's get this thing set up. First thing I always do, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I was like, where's my old board? I gotta swap my trucks out. Nope, we're not doing that. Oh man, I left this blade out in the rain because I'm a procrastinating idiot and the blade rusted shut. There we go. It's funny because out of all the, I don't know, videos I've posted, and I'll get called out for repetition all the time. I'm at a point now where like I don't really care, no offense, if I get called out for that. I just have fun. But one of the few things that people seem to just constantly enjoy are board setups. And I like, to me, that's the most repetitive content. But whenever I would break a board or it was time to upgrade, I was like, yeah, might as well film a board setup. Like, they're fun. It's kind of like a skateboarder's version of a mukbang or mukbang, whatever. And I would still get comments of like, when's your next board setup video? Oh, I love the board setup videos. I'm like, why? No, I'm not complaining. I'm hyped that some of you guys enjoy them. Okay, I picked the dirtiest sheet of grip that I had. Oh, I guess for those that care too, we're riding Mob. Last time I went to the local skate shop, I bought like 5 or 10 sheets just because grip's that one thing that I always think I have, but then I never end up having. So I like to just stay stocked up on it. But again, sometimes I used to ride Jessup, Grizzly. I always find myself going back to Mob. Not a huge difference though. Anything's gotta be broken in. Alright. I think part of the reason I'm emphasizing the whole like unsponsored skate setup, whatever, is because for a while, and now it's been like, I don't know, now it's been a year or two, but for a while it was the same setup every time. It was an Arbor board, Ricta wheels, Crux trucks, Bronson bearings. Pretty much all NHS brand stuff for the most part. And like, it was great. Like I loved my setups, and because I was in such a privileged position to get free product, I wasn't gonna change that, you know? But now that I'm sort of doing my own thing and like a little bit, I don't know, less, now that I'm washed up and unsponsored, I figured why not explore a little bit. But on that note, I think it could be fun to hear what you guys recommend. Like the same way that I did with shoes, and like you guys heavily recommended the Vans half cabs. What do you recommend for trucks, for wheels, for bearings? Like, do you notice a difference between anything? I really need to shop around more. I'm down to try anything and everything within reason, I guess. Outlining the board like this, like when I was at a skate shop, we had a file specifically for it. When I do it myself, I usually use a screwdriver, like the skate tool bit, whatever. Does it do anything? Like, is it a visual thing so you know where you're gonna be cutting? Or is it, because I always thought the theory behind it was like going over it so the blade cuts through easier, but logically that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. I guess it's just like for your brain, right? So you know where to cut. And then little life hack I learned is you cut all the concaves first, because then you can do it in little sections with our very dull, rusty razor blade. And then, oh my god, what have I... The grip just lifted. Is it too cold for the... What? It might be too cold because the grip was sitting in the shop and it was below freezing last night. I think the grip got too cold to adhere. Well, just try to ignore that. We'll see if we can patch that up. I've never had that happen before. Yeah, dude, the grip is just, there's no adhesion because it's too cold. Once I get this thing gripped up, I gotta bring it inside and let it sit by the fireplace for a little bit so it can actually like stick to the board. That's a trip. The concaves lift up, so we get it. This is a really, really bad grip job. I swear, when I worked at a skate shop, I gripped your board better, I promise. Oh man. God, that's bad. Luckily, the top ply of this arbor board is pretty much the same color as the grip tape, so it's hard to notice those huge divots, but that is crazy. Hopefully that helped with the adhesion a little bit. Oh no! I don't have hardware! Whoa, am I gonna have to go, dude, I have to have hardware somewhere on this property. I can't believe I didn't think about that. Okay, that's a little bit better at least. Yeah, I mean, it's a skateboard, dude. It's gonna get thrashed anyway. It looks fine to me. However, let's get the, I can't believe I didn't get hardware. Well, at least get the wheels on the trucks and then go search for hardware. Also, bro, these things were $55 each. Back when, back in my day, wow, I'm really at that age where I say that. I remember trucks being 20 bucks each because a pair of trucks was 40 bucks. This might be a really dumb question that you'd think I know because I've been skating my whole life, but these little washers that always come on trucks, sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I'm just gonna not. Do they? This is a really dumb question. What do those do? Like, why do those exist? Actually, I mean, let's use our brain here. I guess they're just washers, so just keep your bearing from going up against the wall of the truck. Yeah, sure, you know what, we'll use them. All right, Juju bearings, let's see how you've held up over the past decade, shall we? I remember back in the day, Richie Jackson, just drop a razor blade on myself, sick. Richie Jackson rode for him too. We filmed a video in San Francisco, like a 1,000-stair firecracker or something, and it went super viral. And it got a ton of hate because like it wasn't a firecracker, he just rolled down 1,000 stairs, or like 100, I don't remember exactly. Okay, I mean, there's still like, they're still greased up in there. I mean, I guess they were sealed, so that makes sense. Get our wheels open here too. I think my last Formula 4s were 54 millimeter, and these are 52, so they're gonna be a little bit smaller and lighter. I think that I'm gonna like, I usually skate 52s or 53s. Is there an inside or an outside? Doesn't really look like it. And then I'm a graphics in person. When it comes to wheels, I don't know, I mean, it's just preference. Little washer thing, and there we go. I don't know, I just think graphic in looks sick. It's just like a plain white urethane clean look. Like, I'm not a fan of graphic trucks really either, or like painted trucks. I just like it to look very clean and simple. All right, so I need to find hardware. Because as of now, we got just about everything we need. I could glue them on. Clean up our mess here. Ew, trash. I refuse to believe that I don't have hardware somewhere. Okay, hardware. Would it be buy some wheels? No. I mean, maybe. Yeah, we can just steal some hardware. Now that I think about it, I could have just stolen these trucks. No, I think these are 129s. They are hollows though, but I don't think these would have fit on my board. However, this just saved us a trip to the skate shop. This thing was super sick. I'm bummed that it broke in half. The homie that did the clutch for the 240, actually. Custom clutches. I'll have his Instagram on screen here. He helped me out a ton with the 240, and then he gave me this board as well, and I tried tray flipping it, and I snapped it in half, and I felt so bad. She lives on. She saved us today. It's so sketchy to ride with half of it missing. Tray flip it again. I don't know if you can see that. These are actually 149s. These would have worked fine. I actually didn't have to buy those trucks. Well, I have an extra set now. By now, you probably know how board setups work. God, I need to get the extension. I was just down there. Extension. Locked and loaded. Freedom. Now I'm confused though, because those are those said 136s. These are 149s. So maybe like Indy changed their... I don't know. I'd only ever heard of like 139, 149, 159. Never heard of 136s. Weird. Maybe it's a stage 4 thing. I don't even know what that means. I do know, however, that we got the hardware that we need. Honestly, I'm just getting antsy. I want to skate. I'm just gonna get these all unscrewed or unbolted, get the new trucks on. Let's speed this up. I'll see you guys when we're there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my new skateboard setup. It probably looks pretty similar to all my other skateboard setups, but it's a new one. You can see the hardware sticking through right there. Because that board from the Homie was way thicker, these are like 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches, where I normally use 3/4 inch hardware, so it sticks out a little bit. At the end of the day, skateboard. I know it's dumb, and like I go back and forth between saying it's dumb and then kind of having my own back. How your skateboard looks, just the dimensions of things, the colors of things, like obviously it doesn't matter at all. But at the same time, I swear it matters. Like when I look down at my board or look at the bottom of my board like that, and I just like, I like the proportions. I like the way that the indies look, the hanger on the base plate and everything. I do like them. I love the shape of the Formula 4s. So like, not that it really matters, but like good first impressions for setting everything up, you know? I'm well aware of the privilege that I have to be able to say like, oh, I hate breaking in new trucks. Oh, I hate breaking in new shoes. I'm aware of that. That being said, like I really don't like breaking in. I think new trucks, out of everything, even shoes, wheels, bearings, board, grip tape, whatever, new trucks have the longest break-in period. The bushings have to get worn, as well as finding the right tightness and looseness of both trucks. So that's gonna be a bit of exploring for me. It does feel a little loose for now. I'll be making little adjustments for the next week or two probably. But listen to this. That was the one thing I didn't like about those Andrew Reynolds wheels. They sounded soft. Even though they rode like, it rode like it was hard. That's crazy. They rode like hard wheels, but they didn't sound like that. Those sound like hard wheels. And again, like doesn't matter, but like low-key does for some reason. I have a hell of a break-in period ahead of me, and I'm saving this rail for another video, my quote-unquote first time skating it, but I can't resist not skating it. So we're gonna do a couple tricks on it. The maiden waxing voyage. I have not touched this rail yet because I haven't had a skateboard. Oh yes, it always feels wrong waxing it for the first time. Oh man, okay, we'll just do it. This is not the optimal space for it either. I'm going straight into the wall there. It feels pretty damn solid, dude. That's a flat bar. It's just a normal rail. It's so dumb. For our little 50-50. I'm only skating the ends of it right now because I want to minimize my risk of breaking my headlights. It'll happen eventually. I just don't want it to happen today. I have no grooves in my new trucks yet. Oh, I'm kind of scared. It's weird seeing a car right there. That's all I'm gonna do on it for today. I want to save it for the actual reveal video of this thing. That's a success. The trucks are still feeling super wonky. They feel like too tight, but then when I turn, they still turn more than I'd like, so they're technically too loose. I think I'm just gonna kick it out here, like move the car obviously, and just like skate around the driveway and fine tune this until it starts feeling a little better. I just don't even feel comfortable like trying tricks yet, like rail tricks or anything. But on the bright side, we have a skateboard now. I hadn't had a skateboard for a while, so that feels good. This video is kind of all over the place with the fence build and the skateboard setup, but hopefully you guys found some entertainment in it. Once the board starts breaking in, I start feeling less of a weenie on a skateboard. We got some fun stuff coming up. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you for the next video, which should be the maiden voyage of that skatable flat bar car monstrosity thing that I made. We'll see. Catch you guys next video. Peace out.